Welcome, everyone. Today is December 22. I'm so sorry.
Every single time.
Oh God, I wish you guys were here. This always happens. I start talking and the mute button is still muted every fucking time. Um, Merry Christmas, everyone. Today is December 22, 2022.
You also have to say like Happy Hanukkah and whatever,
But hasn't Hanukkah already passed?
Not everybody celebrates Christmas.
Also, I don't know.
It's very discriminatory and not very woke of you.
Okay, so first of all, I can say like happy holidays, everyone, and shit. But I once saw, I think it was like a guy said like Happy Hanukkah, motherfuckers, and like the black guy said, "Man, you can't say that." I think like if you're not Jewish, you cannot wish Happy Hanukkah to people. I don't know how it works, dude. I really don't know. But happy holidays, everyone. Hasn't Hanukkah happened already? Wasn't Hanukkah like early this week? Man, we are ignorant as fuck. It doesn't matter. Happy holidays, everyone. Today's December 22, 2022. This is the Evan Studios weekly podcast number 45. Which means that even if we release this every week, which we don't, we will have already be doing it for like 45 weeks. That's almost not a fucking year, not even close.
It's close. A year has 52 weeks.
How long have we been doing this for? Like 3 years? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
Kind of more or less.
Maybe. So if a year is like 52 weeks, and we have 45, we kind of be doing this like bi-weekly, kind of?
A little bit less. So 2 years would be like 104 weeks. So,
yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not great either. We're just making time to let people actually join the podcast. First of all, I want to appreciate everyone that is in the chat already. Jeffrey Conning, I think it's the first time I see you in the podcast. Welcome, my guy. Era Ann, what's up, my brother? Ian Stike? Ian Stike. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but I'm pretty sure it's not the first time I see you in the chat. Uriel Jesus, what's up, bro? Fossern, aka the latex/BDSM guy. What up, everyone? So, apparently we don't have a lot of people here because a lot of people have already started going home for the holidays, going to their homelands. Some people have driven to the city, some people have driven to their parents' house, some people just went back to where they grew up.
There's Terrinha.
To the Terrinha. And we're gonna soon do the same. So we wanted to do a last podcast of the year to keep you guys updated on what's going on. And just in general, just to see how you guys are doing and to say goodbye for the remaining of 2022.
I hope, with like people getting sick and houses exploding and whatnot.
I didn't tell them about my
Oh,
house
you didn't tell
exploding.
them about it.
No.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so let's get right to that. So Isaac is telling a story about my house exploding. That's the type of stuff that we don't say. Like, we just say stuff happened. And other than stuff that we really felt that we needed to share with you guys, you guys have no idea how chaotic shit has been to us this end of the year.
And the year isn't over yet.
We're talking about cancer. We're talking about severe allergies to the point where Isaac's daughter can't go to sleep, and he basically can't get a decent night's sleep for like a month in a row. We're talking about varicella zoster. We're talking about Muku getting evicted, and basically they spent 1 month, like they went to a new house. The house was like completely fucked up. They have to like spend most of the time repairing shit and whatnot. So much chaotic shit happened to the point of where an auto shop that is literally glued to my house fucking exploded. And this is the type of shit that we just say, hey guys, stuff happened, stuff that was out of like our power to do something about it happened. And we haven't been able to work for this reason or whatever reason, but sometimes we don't say what happens, because honestly, we have a lot of people in the team, and there's stuff that happens where I don't feel comfortable talking about other people's lives. And yeah, there's some things that are just personal, and I've explained a million times that I feel like we have earned a little bit of leniency when we set a deadline, or we try to alert people like, okay, this is the estimated for when we are going to release something. But I don't feel the need, especially like I understand that this is something that people are going to be like, yeah, they can only do that because the community, their community got their back and they're going to defend them and whatever. Yes, that's exactly why we can do it. We can do it because we've been doing this for 8 years. That's why I no longer feel the need to explain everything that happens. If I say something like, guys, something happened, we're going to take a little bit longer, I feel like people can trust us enough to feel like there's something out of our power, or there's something that is not allowing us to perform to the point where we wanted to. But I'm not gonna say like, this person has cancer, this person is going through a lot of shit. When something is personal, if this was like the first year or the second year, and we were known for having like big delays, monthly delays, we're not. We were known for missing like a few days. At most, we miss like a week or a couple weeks, and usually it's like the last patch of the year where we usually miss by a couple weeks. But generally, we miss like a couple days or a week tops, like 4 or 5 days. That's usually where we miss. The Shota patch, it's not like a miss. It's, first of all, it's bigger than any patch that we have ever created. It's not a patch, it's a game.
By far.
Isaac likes to say this all the time, but yes,
because it's not. It has like one or two more anti-scenes. No, that's not. That's not the difference. It's completely on another level. It's literally another game.
So basically, it's a new game.
Yes.
And I understand that. And what Isaac said in the last podcast is true. One of the reasons why the podcast hasn't come, the podcast, the patch hasn't been released. When first we predicted, obviously it's the all the shit that happened, but one of the reasons is definitely because I underestimated the amount of work that was required to do on the patch. And basically all the testing and all that stuff, it takes a lot of time, and all this stuff. It's basically usually the bigger the patch is, the more time the stuff that you didn't account for can take.
Yes, because there's more stuff.
Because there's more
bigger.
stuff. And there's definitely a lot of stuff that happened that we just weren't planning for it. And it was not just as simple as just adding more scenes to Fleeting Iris, because that you just write the route, you add it to the map, you write the scenes, you ship it. Since Fleeting Iris ZF, it's his own project, and we've made so many changes to it, and the game literally runs through a different system and whatnot. And we kept improving on the map. Isaac always makes fun of me saying, we're gonna have to change this because we need to add this. We're gonna have to change it because you need to have this. And he says, oh yeah, so pretty much like every time that we start working on a new patch. And it's hilarious, but it's funny because it's true. Like, I know that we end up always trying to improve on something, and initially I tell him we're gonna do A, and we're gonna end up doing ABC. Like, I always have an idea, especially like the more I'm working on a patch, the more I'm gonna play it, the more I'm gonna look at something and be like, oh, this could be better. Oh, we should add a conversation here. We should have an anti-scene here. We should make this different. And the more I tend to look at a patch, and the more I tend to play a patch, the more flaws I'm gonna find in it, and the more ways to improve it I'm gonna see. Which to me sounds like something perfectly natural. It's just obviously, if you're going to keep playing a game, if you're going to look at what you did, you're going to find flaws and you're going to find ways to improve it. And yeah, but basically a lot of stuff just happened, and there's a lot of stuff that I don't feel comfortable talking about, and I'm gonna let Isaac talk about it if he feels about it one day, and I'm gonna let Muko talk about it, and Tiger Lila talk about it. I'm gonna let the other people off the team, because you guys know they're on Discord. They communicate with you guys. They talk with you guys. And if they ever find it, if they ever find a reason to share the personal stuff that they went through, then I'm gonna let them do that. But people go through stuff, and as a leader of the team, I gotta make sure that in the long run, people are mentally stable. People are not going through a lot of shit, because if I force people to work when they're going through a lot of personal stuff and a lot of shit, because everybody complains. I'm in a job where the boss doesn't mind if my wife has cancer, if my mom is dying, if my dog has just got ran over. My boss doesn't give a fuck, and everybody complains that they are in jobs where people don't give a fuck with all the bad shit that they are going through. But in here we do. Just the fact that we don't feel comfortable with sharing personal stories of other people, that's the way I feel. But if people are going through stuff where it's going to mess with their mental health, and it's going to mess with their ability to work, if we believe that people need time to sort their stuff up, it's just something that happens. And I know that whoever understands that we are doing our very best. It's not like we're making tens of thousands of dollars. It's not like we're making millions of dollars. That's not the reality. We're not making more money by working less. In fact, right now we have zero advantages on taking longer to release stuff, because the Shota patch is being released for free, and we want to start putting out content for Bloodlust, and we want to start putting out content for Journey Abroad, because those are going to be a lot more profitable than the Shota patches right now. Like Fleeting Ares is over. A lot of people has just moved on already from Fleeting Ares, because some people are not interested in Bloodlust or whatever. But the people that were here for Fleeting Ares, other than Evan Studios or supporting the whole Atlantic Chronicles, people that have been here to support for Fleeting Hours already cashed in, got the game, cool, and they went about their lives. So we are just trying to focus on making the best possible product, because that's what we have done since day one. That's what we have promised that we were going to do since day one. We were always going to focus on doing the best possible game, not try to do something that is the most profitable. Because it was clear to us very early on that MTR wouldn't be a very profitable genre for a game. And if we were only focused about the game, we will quickly shift the focus of the game, and we will make Ayame be like a MILF mother and have sex with her kids and whatever, and that will be the focus of the game, right? And that's it. We are working on the Shota patch because we want to release the best possible the best possible patch. The Christmas patch is the same thing. Like, we're gonna miss Christmas, obviously. Like, I can probably tell this much.
Christmas is in like 2 days, so.
Yeah, Christmas is in 2 days. We have almost nothing for the Christmas. We have a bunch of outlines. We haven't colored any of the scenes for Christmas.
We have the bus already. I already made the bus.
Oh, we have all the bus for Christmas. Isaac has already yeah. Muko has already drew them. Penny Tiger Lada has already colored them. Isaac has already got them game ready, where he needs to put them in the
specific side with specific names and whatever.
Yeah, basically he has to panel the whole thing. Panel, it might not make a lot of sense to you guys, but he has to go on Photoshop, load them all up, put them on the right size, pick like these eyes with these eyebrows, with this face, if it's blushing, if it's not, if it has lipstick, if it has glasses, and then he has to give them all names that are easy to identify once we are writing the project, so that we can easily select which bus we want to pick for each line, and all of that takes a lot of time, but all of that has been done in terms of the busts. And he has done it twice, because IMA has went through 2 visual overalls since the summer. Basically, we did one which was better than the one we had, but we still felt like it was not exactly what we wanted, so we did another visual overhaul, and I think you guys are going to love it. Um, and yeah, but other than that, I already I wrote the whole idea of the Christmas patch to for the CG team. I gave the whole patch to the CG team, and yeah, they haven't been able to work. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the CG team hasn't been working for like longer than a month, because they had to like pack it all up from their previous house, move on to the new house. The new house was like, how did Muku call it? Muku called it the thing that I never heard like that expression before. He called it basically needed a lot of repairs. It was disrepair. He said that the house was in disrepair. I had to Google it. Basically, it's the opposite. Disrepair. It's
I
like,
didn't know that was a word.
I didn't know that was a word. Disrepair is basically when it needs a lot of repairs. So basically, the house was very fucked up, and they're already looking for a new house. But they like, since they were alerted to the fact that they were evicted in such a short notice to begin with, they didn't have a lot of time to look for a house. So they went kind of like to the first house that they could find. That in within a certain level of needs, they were like, okay, this is good enough.
Yeah.
But the house was like,
Shitty house is much better than under the bridge house. So yeah.
exactly. So basically, they went to for something that is far from where they want to be. But Muku and Tiger Lila also want to start moving, want to move on their own and whatever. So they're looking for a better house, but until then they have to stick in this house. So basically, they spend a lot of time just doing repairs in the rooms and whatever, because the house,
I hate doing that kind of work. That's
usually when
very tiring.
yeah, usually when you move to a new house, you expect not to have to do any of repair work or something. But again, very short notice on top of Christmas. So basically, they had to pack all their stuff up, look for a house, move to their house, repair the whole house. Then you have to call your ISP. You have to wait for your ISP to come over and connect your internet. Basically, they've been going through like a very shitty time, man. So yeah, not gonna lie, the CG team for Fleeting Iris has barely had any time to do any work. In fact, we have been in very little communication with them, because they just don't spend much time online. They spend most of the time just getting through their situation right now. But we hope that we fix all that stuff this year, and then in 2023 we can come out swinging. With that said, I actually planned to just burn the midnight oil and be able to release the show, the patch, before Christmas. And then and then basically Isaac's daughter got very silly, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna burn the midnight oil, because I will have to do that until right before Christmas, and I will have like very little time to rest, and I'm already exhausted starting it.
Yeah, same.
So I was like, listen, I just need to take a break. I just need to take a break. So I've been doing stuff at the normal pace. I've been working like 6 hours, 8 hours, instead of working like 12 hours, 15 hours as I usually do. And so if I have to sum up, if I was talking to the board of directors, if I was talking to the shareholders, if I was talking to you guys and try to explain why the delays happened, first of all, me underestimating the amount of work that is required. Isaac already pointed that out. The game is a lot bigger than anything that we ever worked on. And then me again, because I have this tendency to plan for like 70% and then just add in more 30% on top of that, because I keep thinking of ways to improve the game like every fucking day. And then basically a lot of shit happens. Actually, at this point, trust me, right now I'm just happy that I'm here alive. It was that fucking ludicrous. A lot of bad shit has been happening in Portugal. Portugal has been dealing with a lot of floods, especially in the city that I live, that is Lisbon. And people have been losing their houses. People have been having to like go all the way to their roofs to survive the floods.
There were a lot of people that lost their cars because of the floods, like a lot.
Yeah, millions of dollars in millions of euros in damages, and yeah, basically all the houses.
There was a road that my girlfriend used to took to her work, that the road like literally collapsed, and now she has to go like a much longer way.
I've seen I've seen roads like that. I've seen bridges like that. Yeah. I've seen sinkholes appear.
Yeah, sinkhole. Yeah, thank you. There was a sinkhole. She has to go like a longer way now.
Yeah, and fortunately, in terms of like floods, I wasn't hit very bad, but basically, uh, my house could have exploded. There was a situation. I had to grab my cats in a hurry, rush them to my car, and drive my car away, and then come back to see if anything will happen. It was just fucking crazy, but it was just crazy. Like,
And the most important, if you died, the shota patch will be delayed by a very long time. So I'm glad that you didn't die because of that reason.
for that reason,
For that
you're
reason.
glad I didn't die because it should have patched. No, actually, I leave so many notes that I'm pretty sure that it will come out eventually.
It's not the same. People would notice that it's not
No, of
your
course
writing.
not. Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. It will never be the same. But I hope that I leave enough notes to the point where if something happens to me, you and Muko and Penny
Yeah.
can continue working on Evan Studios. If something happens to me, I hope you guys can. Even if you need to find like another writer, which probably won't write exactly the same way I do, but I hope that I left enough notes in the work computer, in the office computer, that people can just follow up and pick up like the stuff and patch it all up and
Yeah.
figure out. At least the story for all the Olensia Chronicles games is written. And I mean, if you can write between the lines, the story for Journey Abroad is
Yeah, but
as well.
it would not be the same without you telling every 5 minutes, we have to change this. So
Okay. Somehow I don't think you will miss that.
yeah, but I would.
A lot of stuff happened, dude. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of bad stuff happened. It was just crazy. At some point, you know, when misery happens to you, like so often, that at some point it almost becomes funny. As long as no one dies, as long as no one goes through some shit, if misery happens to you often and no one dies, everyone at the end of the day it's like, okay, we're gonna survive this. Okay, we're gonna survive this. At some point it just becomes like ironic. You just look to the sky and you're like, really, God, again? And honestly, the end of 2022 it kind of felt like it. Shit kept happening to everyone in the team. And I don't wish any of the stuff that happened to us to happen to anyone. Like, I know that some people have gone through this through the experience, because I know that some people mentioned in the chat, and I know that some people have went through the experience of being evicted out of nowhere. I honestly, I know that I hope it never happens to me, and honestly, I can't even imagine. I hope it doesn't happen to anyone in the chat and none of our listeners, because it's really terrible. But I also take some personal blame for stuff that I could have predicted or prevented if I just gave us a little bit more leniency in the deadline. Because I remember the first deadline that I set was like end of October, and then we added a few scenes and whatever. But at most, if my predictions were correct, it would have been like mid-November, and we're already like mid-December. And yeah, obviously right now we are going through the period of Christmas, and we've slowed down the working a little bit, from like 12-15 hours a day to like 6-8, which is, you know, the regular. But yeah, I also remember a lot of shit that I said that, you know, at the time it felt true, but it wasn't true, clearly. Working on 3 games, I didn't feel like it was going to make a big impact on Fleeting Hours and the Shota patch and whatnot. But because I underestimated the amount of work it needed in the Shota patch, and then obviously it ended up making a big impact, because we have already worked a lot in Bloodlust, and we have already worked a lot in Journey Abroad. Like, Journey Abroad is almost ready to come out. I know that I said like Bloodlust will probably come first, but Journey Abroad, both versions are probably going to come out really, really early. Like, as soon as the Shota patch comes out, like, I'm gonna say like a month tops, Journey Abroad is gonna be out. Yeah, and we have already laid a lot of groundwork for those 2 games. And obviously, I feel like one is not gonna get in the way of the other. Come 2023, since we have 2 different CG teams, we can focus on one and then focus on the other, and just slowly release each in the intervals of when the CG team is working on the actual patches. But yeah, at this end of the year, working on like 3, sometimes 4 different projects, because we're trying to figure out the best way to remaster Fleeting Iris without having to redo an ungodly amount of work, but still improve on the game. because we want to improve on the dialogue, we want to improve on the story, and definitely we want to improve on the resolution. Maybe we can switch everything to the new Fleeting RZF system.
That's probably the best idea.
Yeah, switching to MV will not only will require a lot of work, but a lot will be lost in translation, so to speak, because you're literally using a different engine. We will have to port all the scripts. It will be a pain.
Yeah, getting all the assets will be a pain in the ass for all the maps and all the sprites and all that crap that we have. It will be just terrible.
That's one of the reasons. That's a big ass reason.
Yes.
But the other reason is, yeah, all the assets and all the skills, that will be completely ass.
Yeah.
But we finally got to, like, you guys will need to play the Shota patch for this. But I legitimately think that we got to a point where the RPG Maker VX6 is actually decent to play on. With the new resolution, with the new system that we found.
And it only took us 8 years.
Oh no, we didn't work on. We didn't try to improve the resolution for that long.
Joking.
It took us as long as since we started working on Fleeting RZF, which was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was definitely the big one. I honestly, I got to a point where I was just giving up. When we got to the point where we added like 3 versions of the game and then a lot of bug fixes in the case all those 3 versions didn't work, I was like, what are we doing, man? The only reason why I put up with that bullshit was because we were only using that to release free parts of our game, which was the bestiality, whatever. That's the only, like, if we had to release an official patch, like something that we were charging money for people to play, that was like on Steam or whatever, and we had to go through all those loops for people to be able to play the game, I will just drop the game and go for something else. I would switch engine and start over. That was not a thing. That was not a thing. We were just trying to provide something to people, even though it was free stuff. It was a bestiality patch, whatever. We were just trying to provide that to people, but that was not a thing. It wasn't a thing. Having to download like 2 different versions and then apply a bunch of bug fixes and shit. You cannot do that with
that makes like half of the people give up on playing.
Yeah, people don't want to play.
People don't want to.
There's people that quit as soon as they get the message. You do not have the RTP. You require the RTP to play whatever. There's people that won't even Google.
People today,
RPG.
when they get a game, plug and play, and that's it.
Yeah, if you can just plug and play and it starts immediately, they instantly feel like quitting. If you're downloading a game, a project, whatever it is, and it has to come with a huge list of things, you need to do this before you're able to play, to troubleshoot your game, and you cannot run whatever programs in the back and whatever. People just feel like quitting, and yeah, that was feeling extremely discouraging. But like I said, we finally found a solution to it. So with Shota patch, you will see that we finally were able to improve Fleeting RPG Maker VX6 to the point where it's actually pleasing to play on, and you will be able to play it on a bigger resolution. You will be able to full screen it, which is what a lot of people want. Magpie was a big inspiration to do stuff, but yeah, we hope that eventually we can release a Fleeting Hours remaster, and people are going to enjoy it a lot. But yeah, all that stuff was stuff that caused the delays on the Shota patch, and yeah, now we're just taking a little bit slower here. We're still waiting on the CG team to come back to life, so to speak. They've been off the grid for a while, and yeah, now we just have to wait for them to pass this Christmas season, and yeah, in early in 2023 we're going to try to release it as early as possible. And right now I'm feeling somewhere between like the 10th or the 15th we should be able to have the whole thing, which should be the full Shota patch plus a couple Christmas scenes that just like coloring. But again, I'm going through what dates Muku is giving me. So the Shota patch will come out for sure in the first 2 weeks, the first 15 days. But in regards for the Christmas scenes, it might come with a few of them, but I'm not gonna promise anything because I'm just going by what Muku is telling me. Right now they're fixing some stuff and whatnot. They still haven't went back to work, but right now we're just we gotta wait for them If I was seeing work right now, it will be easier to like, oh, okay, we already have this scene here. I just have to write and whatnot. I don't have anything. I don't have the scenes with me. I'm just going by what Muko is saying, so we'll see. But yeah, I feel like in the first 2 weeks of January, we will be able to release the Shota patch. I don't know how much of the Christmas patch you guys are gonna get with it. As for Journey Abroad, we probably already have enough scenes where we can make like an amazing starting patch. Again, we're just trying to make it look as good as we can at this point. And obviously we need to release two versions of the game, which is one of them is the one with incest, and the another one is the one without. I know that a lot of people are constantly asking, what fetishes does it have. The game isn't focusing on any fetish. The fetish is like slice of life. It feels like an anime. You go to school to meet girls, and eventually you can start relationship with them. But every time you meet a girl, every time you advance your relationship enough with a girl, you get a splash screen, which is like the beginning of the route, so to speak. And all of them are interchangeable. You can play them all at the same time. And when you meet a girl, it usually tells you this route, so to speak, or this relationship focuses on these specific fetishes, and you can have like this one is BDSM, and these are the costumes that usually go with these scenes, and this one has NTR, and this one is like more like lovey-dovey romance, and this one is based on exhibitionism and all that stuff. So as you meet the girls, you will be alerted to which fetishes are going to happen on those routes. As for the Shota patch, we have been going as hard as we can. I haven't been happy with the patch ever as I am with this game. I love everything about it, from the maps to the story to the dialogue to the amount of time that I've had to improve the dialogue as much as I wanted, to the soundtrack, to everything. I just feel like it's really impeccable. And if we had to release it as a game on the L site or Steam or whatever, I will be 100% happy with it just being a game. But yeah, however, I do have to say that one of the things that I underestimated the most or overestimated the most is my ability to write entire scenes. It's hard for me to admit this, but I don't. At some point, I felt it was like a balance between how much I was improving the scene versus how long it's taking to create. But it's clear to me that I can no longer dish out and write entire scenes at the pace that I was able to. I got to a point, and obviously not all of them at a lot of quality, but I remember Isaac seeing me do all-nighters where I will be able to write 3 or 4 entire scenes in a single night. And that's literally impossible to me. I know that a lot of it is because the quality of the entire scenes has changed. The dialogue is a lot better. The scenes are a lot longer. There's a lot of animations. The face animations and the amount of times the characters change expressions is a lot bigger. But I also do not write at the same pace. I'm pushing 38 years old now, and yeah, this might be surprising to you guys, but in order to write quality smut, you need to be like focused. You need to be kind of like almost like in an aroused state. And I don't wake up aroused every day like I did at 20. This might be surprising to most people, but that's not a thing anymore. I am no longer like always thinking about sex. That's not a thing. So every time I get focused and I try to ride a wave, I try to ride as much as I can. But other times I'm looking at the keyboard, and sometimes I try to write a sentence, and I spend like 20 minutes to write one sentence, because no matter how I write it, it always sounds awkward, or it's not exactly what I wanted to write. Plus, there's always the language barrier, because my English obviously is not perfect. But I remember early on, it felt like it was almost like having sex. I would write and it will just flow, but I kept telling people it keeps getting weirder, and there's only so many ways that you can explain how you're going to put your penis in her vagina, and like all that trash talk and all that like dirty talk and pillow talk and all that stuff. There's only so many ways to write it, and then ideas start coming to your head, and it's just like, oh, I already kind of wrote something like this, or I already wrote this exact like sentence, or I already wrote it in this specific way, and you have to find out, okay, how can I write this in a different way that I have already wrote. So it's basically a mix of all that, basically just not being horny all the time, because it will literally just feel like having sex. I will just read, oh yeah, and I will grab your thighs, and I will lick your thighs, yeah, I will lick your thighs, and then I will slap your ass, and like all of that will just flow because it's easy. It's like you're a man, you're thinking about sex, you just write what, oh yeah, I would love to like spank your hair and like spank your ass and pull your hair right now. And when you're older, like I'm trying to, the smut is not as smutty, it's more like, yeah, this is exciting, but it's more like the idea and the concept, and whatever. Like I feel like sometimes in my writing I won some stuff and I lost some stuff. Like you win something and you lose something the older you get, and it kind of works like that in almost every profession. Like as a soccer player, what you lose in acceleration, in speed and explosion, you learn in like you increase your vision, you increase your passing, you increase, like you become more resourceful because you're not as explosive, you're not as this. And writing hentai kind of feels like the same. You improve on the story, and you improve on like the scenario and the whole fetish and the way you write, and you improve in the writing, but you also kind of lose on that lustful idea that you have. It just feels more raw and more, and yeah. So basically all this to say, I can no longer dish out like 4 or 5 hentai scenes, but I also feel like the scenes sound a lot better, and in the end they are a lot more arousing and they are a lot more exciting than they were early on. Not because of how much bigger they become, but because it makes more sense. It's like it's easier to imagine the scenario, other than, yeah, I will grab your ass and I will spank your ass and insert like moan here and moan there. That is very, very simple, but it's very visual, and it's like instant gratification. But if you grab the idea, the scenario, and you go around it, and you try to like improve on the dialogue and improve on the stuff that is going, and try to like explain more what's what the characters are feeling and what's the mindset behind something, I feel like the scene becomes richer, and it's easier for whoever is playing to understand the characters and relate with the characters. So this way makes me feel like I need to take more time writing the scenes. At the end of the day, it makes me feel like I write better scenes, but I also feel like I lost something, because when you're in a constant state of arousal, and I mean, you're writing hentai, you're like horny all the time. I remember people asking me, "Hey, Stark, do you only write the scenes with one hand?" And Stark, do you write the scenes with your pants in your ankles? And bro, like, no, but almost. Like you're aroused. Like I'm looking at the entire scenes that Muku and Tiger Lila have drawn the same way you guys. I'm like, oh man, this is really fucking hot. And obviously that helps me write, but I also do not have the same state of arousal that I did 8 years ago, obviously when I was 29. Plus, listen, you also become kind of pussy whipped. I've been in a relationship for 14 years. This also might sound exciting for you guys, but sex for me is also not as exciting anymore. Because a 14-year-old relationship, I mean, there's only so much you do, like, and you're not always thinking about sex. You're not always thinking about the conquest and meeting girls and what you're going to do to girls, and that stops being such a big part of your life. That stops being as important, right? But at the end of the day, the biggest difference is just I don't feel like I can dish out entire scenes at the same speed that I used to be able to. But at the same time, I feel like all the content that I put out is good content because I'm focused and I feel that something is hot. Because earlier on you'll be, oh yeah, boobs, this is hot. Oh, ass, oh, this is ass is hot. Oh, ass is hot for sure. Oh yeah, oh, he grabbed their hair, this is fucking hot. Like everything will be hot. Why? I will be horny all the time. Everything is hot. Like, oh my god, boobs, yes, boobs, yes. Oh, we came in her boobs. Oh, this is so hot. And I will write that. And now everything that I dish out, like, I feel like, okay, this line, oh yeah, this is really good. Oh, okay, this really improves the scene. You get to see what mind state is. You need to you understand why she's doing this. You understand why she's horny. And now he grabbed her like this and put her like that and all that stuff. And I feel like you put a lot of sparkle. You add a lot of detail to the things, to the scenes, and they become less raw, but they become like more erotic and you know, more appealing in my personal opinion. So that's pretty much it, guys. In terms of why the Shota patch hasn't come out yet, we already explained. We had a lot of setbacks that happened to pretty much everyone in the team, but I also take a lot of blame for not probably I will miss by like a month, like the amount of work that I thought we will need to do and it will take us to do, plus the stuff that I didn't account for. It will never come out like mid November. It will also come out. It will always come out like mid December. That was on me. Like I fucked up because again, the initial plan was to come out late October, and then we added some stuff and we did make polls and we learned, okay, this is going to take more time or whatever. Let's say mid November. I will definitely take responsibility for not assessing how much work we need to do to like mid December. And that's what I should have realistically have said back then. I should have realistically have said mid December we will be able to get a patch. And right now we will be missing for a few days because again a lot of shit happened. But we will be able to release again in January. But everything will be all right. I think the problem was it's not even a problem with communication. It's like I completely assessed wrong the amount of work that we had to do, and obviously I didn't account for the setbacks. But like I'm just going to assume the responsibility for what I missed. I'm not going to talk about the setbacks or try to like use them as an excuse for it. But from another perspective, I was just trying to give you guys, this is what I think we have. And I know we got a lot of shit from people. You said it was gonna come out here, but it's not gonna come out here. But you already said it was gonna come out that day. And I was like, listen, I was trying to keep you guys in what were our expectations. I wasn't trying to create unrealistic expectations, and I wasn't trying to lie to you guys or not work. Like if someone in our team wasn't working, there's other 5 people that will be like, bro, someone is not working. But the fact is, everyone is working as hard as they can. It's just a lot of work and a lot of shit happened. And at this point, in a creative job as ours, sometimes you can produce more and sometimes you're going to produce less. It's easy. Like all the jobs that I had, where I just had to like wake up in the morning, pick up the phone, answer to a client, have a conversation. Everything is mechanical. Turn off the phone. That's it. Go home. Don't worry more about my job when I get home. That's amazing in a way. In a creative job where you have to make sure that everything that you put out has no mistakes, it looks good. It's like writing, it's like painting, it's like making songs. It's like, yeah, obviously there's singers that, man, all you have to do is like look at me early on. I will be able to dish out ridiculous amount of work in a very small amount of time. Isaac and I were working at some point up to like 18 hours a day, sometimes more. Isaac will sleep for a whole week in my house, and we will be able to work for like 18 hours. Obviously, I'm 37. I can't do that anymore. Plus, we have lives now, right? But when you're younger and in certain ways, you can be more creative. There are definitely more people that are more creative than others. And then you see people with amazing body of work, and you see people that have to have songs written for them, and they release an album every 5 years. Like you can look at Rihanna, she releases an album every 4 years, and she doesn't write her own shit. And then you look at Kendrick Lamar, that releases an album like every 1 or 2 years, and he writes some of the best lyrics in the world to the point where he wins the Pulitzer. You see Tupac died at 25, and he did like 6 albums, some of them double albums, plus then released songs, and he made like a trillion songs, and he will live in the studio and he will be able to create. It's not hard to be as creative as those people. I am no longer as creative as I used to be. Some people are able to do that, and some people are like, what's the guy from Game of Thrones? What's his name?
George Martin.
George Martin, where he has written some of the most amazing stuff he written Game of Thrones, minus the last season that was trash, because that wasn't him. But he was able to write Game of Thrones, and now he's just drawing blanks. He's making.
He also wrote the story for Elden Ring, which won Game of the Year this year. So.
Oh, I mean, I didn't agree with it.
That also took a lot of work.
But yeah, but it looks at but even a guy like George R.R. Martin that he drew whatever, he wrote the story for Elden Ring, he wrote Game of Thrones, he still talks with Stephen King. There's an interview with him online where they say like, Stephen, like, how the fuck do you write so much? Like, I can't write. I get like writers. I get whites. I can't write. I'm trying to think of shit and I can't write. And Stephen King just says, "Oh, I do drugs."
Yes, Stephen King did a lot of drugs. I don't think he does like at least the same amount today, but he did a lot of drugs when he was in his like golden era or something. Like a lot of drugs.
So I love you guys, but I'm not gonna do drugs to write Fleeting Iris. It's not gonna be a thing. But all this to say, people have different creative processes.
I still think an ash brownie wouldn't kill you, but that's just me.
People have different creative processes, and people have different creative speeds. And I definitely overestimated my current ability to dish out enticings, especially 35 enticings. But I am happy with what I put out, and I am 100% happy with the product that you guys are gonna get, and I'm 100% sure that you guys are going to feel like it was worth the wait. If it doesn't win best free game of 2023,
I don't think there's an award for that.
see how people are.
Especially for anti-games, you know.
See how people are. But I'm really proud of what we did. I'm really proud of everything that we did.
We should fund that award just so we can win it.
We should fund that award so we can win it. So since the game is free, the award is going to be free. Everything's going to get free.
Yes.
We haven't even released the game. We're already awarding it to ourselves. See, this is creative minds at work. But yeah, I know that you guys are extremely excited, but yeah, I'm gonna take after blame for probably underestimating the amount of work that was required, and then the rest of I'm just gonna say fuck you, world. Like sometimes,
yeah, 2023 can't get here fast enough.
Listen, it's you look at 2021. This is fucking hilarious. My mom died in 2019, so 2019 was the worst year of my life.
Okay.
2020 was fucking COVID year. It was terrible.
I still love 2020, but I recognize that my life had particular circumstances that made it a good year for me.
Exactly.
I know it was bad in general, but for me it was a good year.
You met your girl, or you basically...
Yeah, my kid was born. I spent most of the time at my home with my girlfriend, who didn't have to work like 35 hours a day like she does today. So she was well rested and always in a good mood. We had our kids. Since we were working from home, we had we saw a lot of movies and a lot of series, and I had a friend who was also working from home, who at the time lived at my street. So every night he went to my house, we drank sangria, we played board games every single night. We were always well rested, we were always in a good mood, we didn't have to fight traffic every day. It was nice, but I recognize that it was nice for me in my circumstances. A lot of people suffered a lot on 2020.
So that's great for you. 2020 was trash for everyone else.
Absolute trash.
People wouldn't go out. A lot of people lost their loved ones to COVID. A lot of people were doing really bad. Their health was trash because of COVID. Yeah. 2020 was trash. 2021 was trash, but we were recovering from 2021. I don't know how, but listen, from August 1 until when did your daughter recover from varicella?
Last Thursday. She went to school last Thursday.
Last Thursday. From August 1 to last Thursday, this year was definitely easily the second worst year of my life. It was absolute ass. I spent my whole month of vacations that I was like, okay, I'm gonna rest so much because I never rest any other day of the year. No weekends, nothing. Holidays, no. Holidays is for people that work for the government. We don't work. We don't rest on holidays. Fuck this year so much. I spent the whole month.
Fuck this year, man.
I spent the whole
Jesus.
month of my vacations sick. I went from one sickness to recovery to sickness to recovery to sickness. I spent the whole month of August. I had a lot of plans. I had vacations planned. I had hotels reserved. I spent the whole month of August sick and in my house. And this is the worst part. I spent the whole month of August sick in my house with pneumonia and COVID, and I had the easiest year out of everyone in the team. This is how bad this fucking year was. It was fucking trash. But, listen, at the end of the day, all I gotta say is, fuck that. Count your blessings.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're healthy. Now, we believe. We are here, we are alive to appreciate life with you guys, with our loved ones. We still have an amazing community that understands this, that goes through real problems just like us. They don't expect us to be these superhumans. And man, life was so hard for me as a young kid, and I'm so appreciative of life that regardless of how bad shit goes, I still remind myself to count our blessings. And that's all I gotta say, man. And that's all I can say to all you guys. As long as you have health, everything else you can just go get it. Just go back to zero, just go get it. And that's all I wish for you guys. That's all I wish for you guys this Christmas. Just health and love. Everything else you guys can go get it, bros. Everything else you can get it. Fuck whoever says that your life is this, your life is that, you can't get girls, you can't get money, you can't get this. Fuck all that, man. The only thing that matters in life is love and health. If you can get that, count your blessings and appreciate what you have, and everything else is bonus. You have hair in your lungs, you have health, bro. Just appreciate it. Appreciate with the ones you love, and those are the ones that matter. Everything else, if they add, awesome. If they don't add, fuck them. And honestly, I thank you guys so much for all the strength and all the support you guys have been giving us all through all the shit that we've like. It's easy for me to say, hey Isaac, take your time. Hey Muku, yeah, okay. No one will be ready for a situation where they will be evicted out of nowhere. Take your time. And then me having to give face and be the face of, yeah, we're having delays, but I'll take it. Like, as the leader of the team, I have to take the responsibility for dealing with all that shit. And I could be dealing with a lot of shit if you guys were being cunts, but you weren't. Like, I've people obviously want to know more about how's the game going, when are we going to get the game, because people are excited for it, and I cannot condemn people for being excited for the game. I understand why people are excited, but people have been so incredibly supportive, and people have been so, I know that you guys are passionate about it, but you guys have been so supportive and so understanding, and I really cannot understate how appreciative I am of that, man. Like, I really appreciate the community that we were able to foster during these 8 years, and I appreciate you guys so much. And all that I can do and all that we can do as a team is just release an amazing Shota patch for you guys to play and enjoy. But really, the only advice that I can give to you guys and like as a message of Christmas, bro, as long as you're healthy, just count your blessings in love. That's it for everything. Just count your blessings in love.
You lost the shoe.
No, he stomped on his shoe. But yeah, I'm gonna read the messages, and I'm gonna, if you guys have any more questions, I'm going to answer them. But first, I'm gonna read the questions that you guys wrote in the chat before now. Jeffrey Koenig said, health and mental health are important. It has to be the priority. Even if I'm looking forward to playing, I'd rather wait than have something botched. Yeah, Jeffrey, the problem with creative jobs is that if you can't just dish out content, because at some point you will dish out trash. This is kind of, again, anecdotal in this case, but there were a lot of shit like patches go back and forth between me and Isaac all the time, because I tell them how I want the story to be done, where I want the characters to be, what scripts I want to be run, blah blah blah, and then he programs all that stuff in the game, and then he sends it back to me. And sometimes I write garbage, and he's like, there's a mistake here, this image is flipped, this shit is missing something, this noise is missing. and it was like, were you like, oh, okay, this you were sick when you wrote this, right? And yeah, obviously we had to work sick a lot of times. That's normal. People will work sick sometimes, but you don't feel sick like it's impeding you. But then you look back on the work that you did, and you're like, oh my god, was I feverish when I wrote that? And then you just end up making a lot of mistakes. So if you work sick or if you work while not feeling creative, you will release a lot of garbage. And if you do that, either you have to go back and rewrite it, or you have to rewrite it and redo it before the players ever see it. So you will botch a lot of shit. So unless you are like fully focused and like mentally ready to work, you're going to botch a lot of shit. So I 100% agree with you. And thankfully we are at a point where we no longer feel the need to release something that is incomplete or is garbage, or it's like just release what we have to appease the players. We are making sure that whatever release it's going to be pristine. So, but yeah, I definitely know the feeling of just trying to like force something out and trying to push something out and then just releasing garbage. So we are not going to do that. We know that there are a lot of developers that spend a lot of months saying, "Oh, we are taking a little more time because we are working on this and we are working on that," and then they release something that they could be that could have been done in like a couple of weeks, and you're looking at it, it's like, oh shit, no, these guys spent like 6 months working on this garbage. No, like I'm serious. You guys are going to see like just the whole spec of how big the shoulder patch is and the amount of dialogue and the detail that goes into maps and into songs and all that shit, and you're going to understand where the work has gone to. So yeah, we are definitely we are definitely working as hard as we can, and we are make sure that we stay creative every time we go near our computers and we try to put out work. Ian said, I'm here for you guys, and Tyler is just a happy addition. Yeah, I feel the same. Oriel Jesus puts a little emoji. I don't know what the fuck this emoji is. Mouse over also doesn't help me. Ian said, be careful guys, I will pray for you. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for keeping these in our prayers. Cellmate said, what? You don't? He's probably on that when I was saying that I was not horny 24/7. Yeah. This might surprise you, but I'm not horny 24/7, bro. CVA TV Bizarre Adventure said, oh, and Jose Manuel Olympias said, hoof.
Was when you're talking about our problems that we had.
Oh, yeah. I also feel hoof. I feel that hoof in my heart. Ashik was probably sending us the heart as like support for the same thing. I appreciate it, Ashik, man. Much love to you as well. And Foster said, so the start of January we will get Shota / Xmas patch. No. You will get the Shota patch and how much we have for the Christmas patch. The only thing that we can promise is, as we are going to release whatever we have for the Christmas patch, but since we will just be waiting on the CG team to draw the CG scenes, we will be working on Journey Abroad. So chances are, by the time you will get the ending of the Christmas patch, you will also be receiving Journey Abroad very soon after that. Because honestly, we're trying to take this time to like recharge our energies, be with our families and whatnot. Again, we were super motivated to like burn the midnight oil, burn the midnight candle, whatever, and work like 18 hours a day and be able to release it before Christmas. But as soon as Isaac's daughter got varicella, we understood that it was not going to be possible. And we were like, okay, we need to put our arms down. We need to recharge our energies because we're going to need it in 2023. There's a lot of work to be done. So let's try to keep our morale high because we were all motivated to work on new games and whatnot. And that's pretty much what we're trying to do. We're trying to like slow down, recharge our energies, get ready for 2023 because Evan Studios has a lot in store for 2023. So we're going to start with the Shota patch. We're going to release as much from the Christmas patch as we can, and then we are going to get the CG team to keep working on the Christmas patch. While they do that, we're going to try and finish up Journey Abroad, the first patches for the incest and the non-incest version, and then it's going to go boom 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 quick fire. Shota patch, boom, Journey Abroad, boom, Bloodlust. And then it's going to go like that. We are recharging our energies. We're going to go really hard on 2023. So for the start of January, expect the Shota patch plus whatever we have, depending on how much the CG team is able to work on it for the Christmas patch. In terms of like story, it's all written. We just need the We just need the scenes to arrive. And and obviously as soon as the scenes arrive, we are going to start releasing the previews on Discord again. But again, they haven't been able to work, and we gotta understand the situation that they are going through. But we are just recharging our energies. We appreciate all the support that you guys have been giving us this year, and Isaac and I, we know that we haven't released anything big since the summer, since we released 1.12f, where we added all the changes to the system where you can play all the routes in one go, and the map reduction and all the quality of life changes that we did that were extremely time consuming. But we understand that we haven't been able to release something ever since July. And we were planning to release a full game before the end of the year. We were unable to, but I promise you guys, we're just recharging our energies. We're going to come back in 2023 really hard, and we have a lot of good stuff to come out, from the Shota patch to Journey Abroad, which we are super exciting to release, to Bloodlust, which we are still looking for an artist to do the animated battlers. But other than that, you already have all the plans to release the game. So we are super excited for 2023, and I can only hope you guys are as excited as us for the stuff that we are going to release next year. Other than that, all I can wish again for you guys is a lot of health, a lot of love, and just hope that you guys are able to count your blessings and get something positive out of this year, and a lot of strength to go on the future years, because whatever happens, man, it always gets better. There's always another day, and we haven't been proven wrong ever since mankind existed. There's always another tomorrow, and you just gotta hope that tomorrow is better, bro. And count your blessings. That's it. Regardless of anything that is bad, if you're able to keep your health, count your blessings, keep loving, and that's it, bro. And next year we're gonna have a lot of good games, and hopefully we'll all be here healthy and ready to appreciate all those games. So I thank you all so much for being with us all these 8 years, and I wish you all happy holidays, regardless of what it is. If it's the Hanukkah, Christmas, winter solstice, pagan Saturnalia, whatever you guys, whatever is your thing, bro. Like, just just appreciate it, just have fun, and the Happy New Year and all that stuff. I'll probably be around Discord and Twitter and whatnot to check on you guys, and keep giving you guys some updates. But that's about it. Yeah. I think this is it for the last patch of the last podcast of the year. I hope you guys appreciate it. God fucking damn it! See, right on time, right on schedule. See, I couldn't end the year not botching yet another fucking thing.
Can't you have like a macro to do that shit automatically or something like that?
Bro, I have a fucking Stream Deck. I probably have like a button here. I could just push a button and have that happen. I just fucking forget every fucking time.
Maybe a timer, so it plays the intro and then to a point and then it switches the screen or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but then that will require that I remember to set up the timer. The problem is, like, I fucking forget every single time. Every single time. Listen, right before the podcast, I spent like 2 minutes on fucking Photoshop, making sure I get the right background with the right date, with the right everything.
December 22, 2022. I just noticed.
You didn't notice when I said good evening, it's December 22,
No.
2022? Okay, I thought you will notice then at the start of the podcast. Anyway, looking forward to it in the XSMS, at least what is ready at Journey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, stay safe and happy holidays. You as well, Foster, and everyone else. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yeah, for you as well, bro. We also celebrate Christmas and New Year, so happy holidays. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you guys for supporting us and allowing us to work for you guys. I appreciate you guys so much, and I honestly hope that you guys have like the best end of the year, and I just wish you all a lot of health and everything else. Just stay patient, and we'll come to you guys. Much love, guys. Stay healthy. Take care.
Bye, everyone, and happy holidays.
And happy holidays.
起きてばかり寝坊しちゃった。思い出したのは君のことです。起きて明かり